Hello, good morning, everybody. Sorry for that weird long pause at the very beginning to drink coffee. Um, I wasn't. I was taking pills, just like normal stuff. But running a little behind this morning. Happy Black Friday to the world. Yesterday was just about us in the States and our need to eat an ungodly amount of food, and now we must shop. And the greatest thing about this Black Friday is there's no reason to leave the house. Please don't leave the house. Don't go Black Friday shopping. I know that the stores are still doing it, but you can do it right from the comfort of your own computer and not get COVID. So yeah, I hope you guys all had a good Thanksgiving if you're in the States, or I've just been doing well in general. If not, hey Pronoun, and hey Miriam, and hey Keep Faith. Thank you so much for joining this morning. I am a bit raggedy this morning, not because I'm a partier or anything. I don't drink alcohol. I have mimosa 3 times a year, and that is the extent of that. And we didn't stay up super late last night, but so I'm writing an enemy to lovers romance right now. I don't write them that often because they always have the same struggle point. That is the resolution. That is like everything. Like how does this flip? Because I tend to write I won't say similar stories every time, but like I definitely have those favorite tropes of mine that are, way more specific than enemies to lovers. I do tend to have it ending with the MMC, the man, having to like fix everything that he screwed up with her. Well, she's like, no, I'm not having any of this. And like, usually not even because of him. It's usually also a bit of a star-crossed thing. And she's like, well, it doesn't matter if I take you back because we're still screwed. So I'm not doing this. And he has to convince her otherwise. And every damn time I write this trope, I have no idea how they're going to resolve it until I get to that point. Because again, I'm an outliner. I'm not like a massive plotter. And so I'm kind of at that point right now. And last night I'm laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and it just hits me how this is going to happen. And because you guys are all writers, you understand the fact that if I didn't drag my butt out of bed at 11 o'clock last night, I write out 2 damn scenes, I would have never remembered, and it wouldn't have been as good, and it would have just been a mess today. So the good news is I did end up getting 4,500 yesterday of my goal of 5,000. But again, like not tons of people, but very social people over yesterday. It had originally been at under 4,000, so getting it up to 4,500 felt really good. But also I'm sleeping out, and the cats were just doing cat stuff last night. So I definitely had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to pet one of them because he was biting me. So I'm probably going to enjoy my coffee on this first sprint and then hopefully get in on the other sprints. But I don't want to hold you guys up. You're here to write. Y'all probably got nanos to do. So go ahead and write for the next 10 minutes. All right, we are back. I am back. I don't know. I guess I'm supposed to just use the royal we when it's just me. As promised, I did no writing. I drank my coffee and I dicked around a little bit on the internet. And I was going to put out some ads because I'm in a book promo right now. And then I discovered that my Facebook has like a really old background on it. My writer one, like it's not even the last book that I had out new. So I was going to change that. And then I realized that if I was going to do that, I really needed it to be like a seasonal cover because one of my series is seasonal. And not the season that I currently have available as a cover because I do have a Halloween themed one, but obviously we are past Halloween. So that was it. But it was what I planned for, and I'm happy that I did zero writing. It did other stuff. Also, I stumbled upon this craziness. So I am not a fan of Trump. But if any of you are fans of Trump, I assure you that I'm only sharing this because it's a really funny picture. And if it was any other president, I would do the same. Look at Trump at this little tiny desk. I will also point out that this was something he himself put out into the world. This was from yesterday's press conference, I believe. And I don't know why he said at this little tiny desk. But he did. And of course, Twitter took it and ran with it. And it's insane. And Twitter did as it does. I don't like this doesn't even look like a comfortable photo. Like this is something where if there had been like something draped around this, it would have been really funny. The cool thing about the internet and this thread, I'm just going to skim through it right quickly because I don't want to go over all of the memes. Again, I'm not here to bash Trump, just like laugh at this little tiny desk that he's sitting at. But the thing is that this is like actually like an important desk. This is a desk that is used regularly, but it's to sign bills and have these photo ops where you have all these people around you. So of course you want that furniture to be as small as possible. So it does make sense. This desk is an actual thing that they use, but you don't use it by yourself because again, you look like this, like you're sitting at the world's tiniest desk. My desk that I am sitting at right now is bigger than that. And I'm crammed between bookshelves. Yeah, so that was just like a weird thing that I stumbled upon as I was taking my time on the internet. And again, I'm not going to be here to bash Trump. If Obama had done the same thing with this little tiny desk, I would have been having the same laugh about it. But yeah, it was a nice way to start the moment. Was this laugh about the desk, and of course there were all the jokes were really funny. Comparisons to, of course, there were all the sitting at the big kids table and stuff like that. But anyways, that was just my little laugh for this morning. Going back, Keep Faith Baby wrote not much. Could not really focus. I get you. Again, that's why it is very rare that I'm like, nope, I am not writing right now. I will write on the next one. Yoda got 254. That is a great start and fantastic for a 10. Miriam wrote a teeny bit. and Googled an author that I recommended yesterday. And OMG, I hope that OMG is like a good thing and you are liking them, because I recommend them constantly while everybody else is always recommending Ice Planet Barbarians. And I always worry that like I just am not the target demographic, and therefore I'm not, like, my recommendation is bad because I don't know what people actually want to read. And that's why Ice Planet Barbarian does so well and Garrison Earth does not. It looks like everybody else is having, oh good. Oh good. You haven't actually started it, but you're looking forward to it. Awesome. Looks like everybody else had a laugh about that desk as well. I was really glad that somebody at the bottom of that thread had pointed out that this is actually a reasonable desk. Just again, just not using it for the right purpose. There were also like total landscaping jokes, White House total landscaping, which is another. I don't know. This whole thing, it's that stranger than fiction thing. All these weird little things that you think, oh well, somebody clearly made that up. They did not have a press conference in between a crematorium and a dildo shop. Oh, it absolutely is. Strange times we're living in. I don't know. Do you know I am now out of coffee? But I'm sounding more energetic. So I am absolutely going to write in our next sprint, which will be starting in just a couple of minutes here. That's weird. I kind of felt like that ramble was actually going to go overtime and I was going to kick myself for going on that ramble about that desk, but I flew through that tiny desk. It was so tiny. And it was neat, so another thing that I have seen recently, and again, this is not bashing Friends if you like Friends. I happen to not like Friends, the show. I like my friends. I just know some people got really mad about this comment, but somebody made the comment that if they won Powerball, they were going to buy the rights to Friends so they could remove the laugh track, so the entire world could see how not funny the show Friends is, which is valid for a lot of things, and we're seeing that now. I know when I watch, the funny news stuff, the John Oliver and the Daily Show and all of that, it's a little weirder. Like the jokes don't land as well if there's not somebody else laughing at them with me. But like that table is like a good visual example of that, because that table works great when there are a whole bunch of people around it, and it doesn't when you're just by yourself. And I like making weird comparisons like that. I guess it's probably part of why I'm an author. Yeah. Also, I do think that would be hilarious to watch Friends without the laugh track. Just just a thing. Okay, so we are going to write for the next 15 minutes. It is probably going to be 25 past by the time I click that button. So we're just going to go ahead and say that I will see you guys at 40 past. Good luck. Okay, we are back, and I'm going to go finish this sentence right quick, and then I'll actually have a word count for you. That'll be fun and exciting. I guess that sentence only needed 2 more words. Okay. So I'm laughing right now because the nanosite doesn't. Oh, I have the wrong. Oh no. I don't know if I'm going to have an actual number for you guys. Oh no, there we go. Sorry. The nanosite is super weird once you pass your goal. So like I finished on the 14th, and right now it says at this rate you'll be done on November 17th. It doesn't change that at this rate thing. I feel like it should just say you finished on this day. Also, it'll still tell me that I need words today. In the second box, like there's the first box that says your total words and then the words needed today and then how many days in a row you've been writing. For mine, it'll still say that I need words. So I just reloaded from yesterday. And as of yesterday, it was saying that I needed 415 words written that day. Now, right now, it says that I've written 0 of 0. So I'm wondering if that magically was fixed last night. It'd be a really weird day to do a patch, though, since this is a US-based organization and it was a national holiday yesterday. But let's see what happens. Nope. Okay. So yesterday, when I wrote, I ended with like 4,300 words, and I got, it said that I needed 415 words that day. So I'm going to do a quick share screen on that because why not? Weird stuff to talk about. We're going to go, oh no, where is it? It is, it's going to compound on itself. Bear with me. It's going to be weird for a second. Look at me in that StreamYard receding forever. Anyways, okay. So, and let me switch this to that mode. Okay. So what I'm talking about is right here. So I have written 83,000 words. Again, my goal was 100,000 words. So I am on track-ish for that. What is today? Today is Friday. I've got 4 more writing days. I'm good. I am in that just comfortable zone where I do have to write about 5,000 a day, 4 to 5, but I'm okay. But here is where I'm saying it's real funny is this is how many words are needed for today. I have written 382. That's what I did on that sprint. I'm really proud of myself because I don't know what I wrote. I'm still sleepy. But it did say before I put the number in, I had 0 of 0 words today. And now that I have put a number in, it is saying that I actually did need 96 words. So it's a good thing I wrote 382. And I bet that number is going to change on me. I'll keep you posted. You probably don't care, but that's okay. It amuses me. Let's switch that screen. Okay. Let me guys. Woo. Let me know how you guys did in comments. Pronoun got 251. That is fantastic. And then Miriam is about to finish her book. And is having an issue with being 4,000 words short. I have had that issue so many times. In a way, I had that issue this month because, again, I was writing 2 novels this month, and the first one finished at 4,500. And my plan had been to write the first book, edit a book, and then write the second book, and then. But obviously, just for bragging rights, I wanted to have that 50K on that first book. So I didn't get there. And then because of it, I feel like I got that first 45K written in like 10 days, but I didn't actually finish until the 14th. Let me see. Yeah, as of day 9, I was already at 42.6. So I could have absolutely been done by the 11th and beaten my record of the 12th, and it got all messed up instead. So I understand. Finish your book and then start on something else. Or if you know that you are an underwriter and have ideas of where you need to write additional scenes, go ahead and do those. The reason that I write romance is because one year I had that problem where I finished the book not just short, but also several days early. And again, as an ML, I do have to keep doing write-ins for the rest of the month. So I ended up just on a lark writing an erotic romance. I'd never written a romance before, and I really didn't read that many before. I just had gotten duped into reading 50 Shades of Grey and was so mad that was like, I can do better than this. I did. That story came out really well. The only reason it hasn't been published yet is because I'm waiting to get more of the series written, and it's not paranormal, so it's not fitting with my brand. So I'm waiting until I'm a little further along to actually publish it. But it did turn out fantastic, and I'm really proud of that story. And that was what made me decide, like, oh, you know what? Actually, I can write sex. I can write a lot of sex. I could write sex all day. You would have got 370 during that sprint, and that's fantastic. And is also struggling with the short book problem. The good thing is that these days there's a much better market for short books than there used to be. So even if your books end up being on the shorter side, it's not like we're bound by publishing standards anymore. So if you have a 20,000 word book, you can publish a 20,000 word book. You can do, and you don't have to worry about like trying to get into an anthology or anything. Miriam could totally add more sex to her book. I love it. I love the way you think. So the good news is that, as much as 50,000 was kind of like, part of why they chose that number is because it's an easy number, but part of it is because that's kind of that was like a gatekeeper to get published. It doesn't have to be anymore. You can write whatever length you want, and you don't need to like do anything extra to sell it. People like short novels. We are an instant culture these days. And I guess you are also. So both of you are. Oh no, you had written additional scenes, but now has to write something else. Yeah. Again, I've been there, and whether this might be a good time if you are not somebody who usually does these things, but to look at writing prompts. I've got this book that just kind of lives on my desk because I've always had a plan to like integrate it into my blog to actually make something out of my blog. It's dusty, in case you're wondering what that sound is. But I've got this book, Write the Story. I found it at Five Below, so it was $5, and it's got all these prompts in it, which you can't. Can I zoom in enough that I can read it from the screen? Yeah, so this one prompt here is a child's dream literally comes true. And there's this list of things to include in your story. The list is high school, captivate, portfolio, argyle, witness, fertile, eyebrow, pentagram, thirsty, and guidance. They only give you this one page, which I can't write any kind of story on one page, let alone something that was using all of those things. But writing prompts are fun. And it's something that, like, at a time when you only have like a little bit more to do and you just need like a short story to fill it and you don't want to think too hard, prompts like that really help a lot, at least for me. So let's go ahead and hop to our next sprint. So we're going to write for the next 15 minutes. It is 51 past, so we are going to write until 6 after. Good luck, everybody. Okay. I feel like I did not do well in that sprint. That sprint started with a tweet, as some sprints do. But I got some words there, and every little bit helps. I'm also at like kind of a weird sound. Really, I should have stayed up and run last night. It would not have made for a great stream today, but really, I have yet to figure out what makes a great stream for today. Okay, so as I had mentioned before, it said that I needed 0 of 0 words today when I first logged in. And then with that first sprint, that was like 382 words. I have that actual number right there, 382. It said I needed 91 words total. And now I am up to 649 words written today. And it says I need 162 total. I can't even imagine what that number actually represents. That funny bit about at this rate, you'll be done on November 17th, I get, because again, when we're talking rates, I get why that number is not the actual thing. I just think it's funny that they don't change it to the actual, but that's okay. But this 150, 162 that keeps going up and up and up, I have no idea what it is. I did write 267 words that time though, so that was better than I thought it was. I'm just dragging right now. Or I'm not dragging, I'm dragging the scene right now. Like all the words are coming, but I'm talking, things are not moving right. My last scene, this poor scene took me like all of like a huge chunk of Wednesday and then again Thursday. It's 4,500 words. Like this is absolutely not a reasonable number of words for a scene, at least for me. And it kept going and going and going. But the thing is that because I'm writing what I'm writing this time, when I go to put chapters in it, I have to be more careful this time. Because it's in first person, but it's from 2 different points of view, which I hate. So if you want to tell me that you hate when authors do that, I do too, but it is the genre norm. So it's in first person, it's from 2 different perspectives, which means that I have to get like my chapter breaks just right. So I definitely wrote a scene that was way longer than it needed to be, just in order to make sure that my breaks worked out properly. Oh, I'm so sorry that I'm yawning right now, but hopefully that yawn will make me better. Yeah, this is the second time that I've written anything where it was that dual first POV. The first time I did it was because it was the sequel to a book that the first book was in first person, just a single character. It wasn't something that I had planned on even being like novel length, let alone having a sequel to it. It was just supposed to be like a fluff piece to put out into the world and never think of again. And then a whole bunch of readers were like, well, okay, but what happens now? And it was on like a free site, it wasn't on Wattpad, but it was on something like Wattpad. So everybody kept pushing me like, this story's not over, is it? Like, I guess not. So the first book ended up being 90,000 words. And then I wrote a second one. And I needed to follow 2 different characters' stories. And it was fine in the first book because they were together. But in the second book, for over half of it, they were across the it turned out they were only 2 states away. They thought they were across the country from each other. Doesn't matter. But so yeah, because of that, I had to have it in both of their perspectives. It worked really well for that book because it was a very much 1-to-1 ratio. Like if I want to get really fancy with my writing, I can. And all of their scenes were mirrored scenes. where her life was getting better and better and his was falling apart, but they were very much in tandem. What she was doing, he was doing the opposite of it throughout. And like both of them were developing relationships and all of this stuff. So it was, I don't know, it was kind of a different experience than the general writing to POVs where you're just like passing it back and forth, which is what I'm doing this time. So the whole point of that is that I have done this before, but in a very different situation and for very different reasons than genre norms. But again, I'm writing alien romance this time, and there's alien romance is much tighter on its norms than a lot of other genres, like down to the fact that I had a lot of criticism on the book cover when I put it into a book cover critique group, that I had all of my text at the bottom of the page. So the book title and the series and the author name were all down at the bottom. And I said, I don't want to do this either, but here is a link to the current top 100 books in this genre. And you'll see that every single one of them that has, that fits this to market cover, every single one of them is done the exact same way. It is what it is. I don't like it, but if I want to sell this book, it needs to look like the book that it is. Just a weird little thing about what I'm writing. Okay. Also, it's got so many lens flares on it, but I like putting all those lens flares. How did you guys do? Nobody has reported back. There's nobody watching me anymore. If not, I understand there are other shows going on. But if you are still watching me, let me know how you did. Also, I'm sorry if that sounded like really sad and pathetic. It's not. I understand that when I am hosting a show at 8 to 10 in the morning on the East Coast of the United States, that I am not hitting the peak hours for anybody except, like, I'm going to say I'm probably in a really great time for like Asia. I know India is like 12 hours exactly. So I feel like anything east of India over there, west of India. Oh yeah. West of India. It's probably a decent time, but, this is certainly not peak hours for most of us. Oh, okay. So Miriam got 223. Awesome. And Yoda got 489. There's a weird little, oh no, sorry, ignore me. There's nothing weird and little happening at all. Holy cow. I just discovered a button, this program that most of the streamers use, StreamYard, in order to do our streaming. There are all kinds of these little buttons that pop up everywhere. And and I've never actually taken the time to explore everything. I discovered that I've been watching a whole bunch of other people's streams, of course, lately. So I've discovered that there is a way to change your background so it's not that like plain black back there. And now I feel like we're behind the curve again. So that is going to be something that I'll be working on in December and spending way too much time figuring out what our perfect background is. Yeah, so let's go ahead and write. We are going to go for another 15 minutes, of course. It is 1:15, so we are going to be writing until past. Good luck, everybody. All right, we are back, and I'm going to do that finish a sentence thing. Okay. And that sentence made no sense. It's okay. It is okay. That is what editing is for. Okay. So I am right on the cusp of 84,000. Obviously for the month. But let's see how many actual words I got in that sprint. Oh, okay. So I did super well there, and I got 419. I feel real good about that, considering obviously I am very sleepy and yawny. I'm over 1,000 for today, which, as you guys may or may not know, is always kind of a goal thing for me during these morning sprints. If I can go through every single one of the sprints, I normally set my goal for 1,400. But usually I have to dip out a couple of times for like coffee and stuff like that. As those of you who have been here the entire time know, I sat out of the entire first sprint to laugh at photos of Trump sitting at a tiny desk. But we've got one more sprint left today. We'll be starting that at 9:40 a.m. Eastern. So in 8 minutes from now. That could have sounded crazy if you're not in the Eastern time zone. Like, oh my God, are we waiting hours? Self-sprint? Nope. But I think I'm going to actually be able to hit that 1,400 if I really do well in this next sprint. Because I have a little just shy of 350 to write to get there. So yay. Yoda did fantastic with 573 there. Miriam did less fantastic with 190, but that is cool. Yeah, again, like some of these sprints just don't work out. I don't know. I went through this phase where I was super consistent for a while with my sprints, and like I was banging out between like 32 and 35 words per minute for every single dang sprint. And I was like, I have conquered everything, and I am an amazing writer, and look at me go. I am now so good at this. It didn't last. It happened for like 2 novels, and then I've never been that consistent before. And I really do think consistency is more important than being able to hit those high word counts. Like, obviously the high word counts are nice, but I would rather be able to know exactly how many words that I am writing in a day and like in a certain time spot, because as I've talked about many, many times, I find it a lot easier to hit my goals if my goals are set to a time. So if I know that I'm writing like 500 words in 20 minutes consistently, then if I'm writing 5,000 words, I just have to find 10, 20-minute blocks, which, since this is what I do, I mean, I've got, if I am telling myself that I'm working an 8-hour day, that 10, 20-minute blocks is just that working 8 hours right there. Obviously, it's not even 8 hours, but you are all writers, so you know that like that time you sit writing, also you need a whole bunch of other time that's not writing to balance everything. So consistency is good, and I am not being consistent this time around, and it's okay. It's life. Oh, Ooh, excuse me. Miriam says that the reason that you got 190 is that you are making a list of scenes to add. Yes. That is a very good reason. And it's actually been something that's been a struggle for me with this story. Because the pacing just didn't work out right. So I've got all of these scenes that I thought I knew what was going to happen with them, and now it doesn't make sense. Also, so I'm using Wavemaker this time around to write with. I've discovered, so part of what I wrote yesterday was something that is going to be later in the scene that I'm working on right now. Normally, I don't write out of order. I'm a very linear writer. But this just happened to be, again, that critical exchange that was going to convince one of my characters that she needs to do this thing. Again, it's that enemies to lovers, and he has hurt her really badly, and she is absolutely not sold on having like a full-on relationship with him. But things that they do together can benefit her, while he proves that like the way he was absolutely not, who he is from now on. Because this is sci-fi, it's literally I was given something that made me that way. And it was totally outside of my control. But look, I've developed this thing to stop this from happening. So, not abusive, but it comes off as abusive to her. I came up with a perfect explanation for why they were going to take things to the next level. And I wrote that. And in my usual way of making a short story really long, I just discovered, so I feel like this is not an uncommon thing to do. If I am writing something that's going to be later in a scene and I still need to fill in before that, I do a whole bunch of line returns to drop it way down so I don't forget that I'm missing a whole bunch of content there. Wavemaker gets rid of those. If you go to another window if you go to another scene and then go back to that scene where you've put all of those line breaks in it, it gets rid of it. And I'm sure, it's like trying to be a helper cleaner bot. Oh no, she put too many line breaks here, and that's not how we do things anymore. We don't need to format like that. I'm sure it has like the best of intentions, but also it keeps moving me from that spot. The other funny thing going on with me because of Wavemaker is technically, I don't know the right term for it, but like, even though the app itself has its own button, and by that, I mean, you know what? We're about to go back to the spread, so I'm not going to show you, but like, it's got its own icon at the bottom of the screen, but it's actually just like another instance of Chrome that is open, to the point where like my Chrome plugins, I have an option or extensions I can open those, and like probably ruin my world, so I don't touch that button. But so because of it, if Chrome crashes, Wavemaker also crashes, and I'm assuming that everybody has had to do an update recently on Chrome. So the update button, I'm not doing the update until I get done with Nano, for the obvious reason that, sometimes updates ruin the world. And I don't want it to wreak havoc on Wavemaker while I'm still in the middle of Nano. So I haven't been doing that update. If you guys didn't know this, that update button changes color. So like it's at the top of my screen, at the end of where you type in your web address, the address box, and like all my plugins and all of that. And then there's an update button. And when the update first came out, I feel like that button was green, and then it was yellow for a long time. And then this morning when I woke up, it's like this weird, like, not even red, but like orangey kind of tomato soup red. So it's like going through this rotation of colors that it's getting more and more irritated with me. And it's just going to continue getting irritated because I'm not touching that button, until I am done with Nano and know that I don't have to worry about like losing a whole bunch of time to figure out what's going on with Wavemaker. Okay. It is time for our last sprint. We are going for another 15 minutes. And it is 41 past right now. So we are going to write until 56 past. And then I have a suggestion. Ooh, we got a little bit of a hole in the calendar today. I'll send you off on to other write-ins though. All right. Good luck, everybody. Okay, we are back. That was our last sprint. And I just got to finish that word and let you guys know how I did for the sprint and for the session. Let me know how you guys did as well. Let me know how you guys are doing with your goals. Let's see. I always click the wrong button here. I'm just one of those people who, like, I'll get to the right screen and I'll click 8 million other things before I get where I need to. Oh, yay. Okay, so I hit my goal for the sprint again. Excuse me. For the session. Ooh. So I got 442 words on that sprint. Yay. And I got 1,510 words for this session. Also, yay. And I am at 84,417 for this nano. I am feeling really good about all of that. Miriam got 380 for that, and that is also good. Let's see. So this is the end of the session for today. I will be doing sessions over the weekend because this is that last rush at the end of Nano. So tomorrow I am going to be doing a show at noon Eastern. And then I'm also going to be doing a show on Sunday night at 8 p.m. And then my last show for the Nano is going to be at 4 p.m., my regular word stitch. It is not going to be with Sandy, though, because Sandy is maybe going to be having a baby that day. So I will have a guest that day, though. It won't just be me. It will be our regular word stitch show. For now, it looks like Katie Ann is doing a show right now that you guys can. Oh, no, she's not. Let me see if I can do a little bit better. Give me just a minute. And I'm normally pretty good at finding shows that are happening. Sorry, just a second. Oh my God. Are there really no sprints going on right now? All right, one last try. I've got one other trick up my sleeve here. Oh no, I bet they're about to end right now too, though. Okay, so it looks like there might not be any sprints going on right now. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, that's so sad. I feel like because they started the same time I did, so I feel like they're going to be ending the same time that I did. Oh, am I? Okay, so this is Tanya, and she is still sprinting right now. She started about an hour and a half ago, so she might be going for a bit longer. And then let me see if I can get you one more sprint. I've never watched her stuff before. I don't know how she does this. And then this other sprint that started at 8 seems to still be going on. So unfortunately, I cannot promise that either of these are going to be going for a while. But if you want to get a little bit more writing in, there are a couple more people for you to watch. And again, if you're around tomorrow and Sunday, I'm going to be writing at noon Eastern tomorrow and 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. If not, good luck, everybody. And I hope you do well for the rest of your nano and hit whatever your goals happen to be.